At DubaiEye1038.com.
The UAE oil major ENOC says that its newly introduced biodiesel 5 product is an advanced alternative green fuel for diesel engines, proven to reduce carbon footprint and greenhouse gas emissions. I'm happy now to be joined by Carl Fielder. Good morning to you, Carl. Welcome back.
Good morning. Nice to see you again.
We've had you on the BB over the last 5 or 6 years charting the course of neutral fuels, who've collected fat from the chip fryers of McDonald's and other chains to convert it into biodiesel. And this is the latest, probably the most successful addition to the story. What are the details?
It's always been part of Neutral Fuels' ambition to make our biodiesel more broadly available in the UAE. We worked with McDonald's for 6 years now in converting their extremely good quality waste cooking oil into biodiesel. We've been working secretly with ENOC for 2 years on trials with their customers, and we signed a contract with them at the end of last year.
So before we get all excited and say this is actually biodiesel or chip fat, converted chip fat powering trucks and lorries, it isn't. It's about 5% addition to regular fuel. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's now 64 countries in the world that have adopted a 5% blend in their regular diesel, and ENOC has pioneered it in the Middle East.
So what difference does it make? Does it just simply reduce the emissions by 5%? Or
it immediately reduces the carbon footprint by 5%. It improves the slipperiness or lubricity of the fuel by 60%, which should make engines last a bit longer.
It's a great word, isn't it? Lubricity.
It's
Wonderful.
Fantastic. So it meets or beats the existing diesel standard.
How much are you actually going to have to produce for ENOC? How much are they taking off you?
So the last 2 years we've had I should say, ladies-only chemical engineering team, all graduates from UAE universities, researching other forms of waste edible oils that we can convert into biodiesel. So this week, for example, we're converting out-of-date oils and ghee into biodiesel, and that gives us a capacity to dramatically improve the output.
I've smelt out-of-date oil, and it's rank, isn't it? It must be very unpleasant.
It isn't very nice, but everything we do is in sealed containers, and it's all nicely smelling in the end. But what we've been able to do is to pioneer the use of an enzymatic process, and this uses a naturally occurring enzyme that actually grows on the outside of soybeans to convert some of these weirder oils into biodiesel. And that is the third production line that we're about to build in our factory here in Dubai.
This suggests you've moved away from running around McDonald's and collecting their old chip fat from their fryers.
No, it's an expansion on our McDonald's relationship. They continue to be one of our best customers, our best supplier. They also produce the best quality waste cooking oil, but we've expanded from just used cooking oil into waste edible oils.
Why the 5%? Why isn't it 10, 15, 20, 30 onwards?
Well, it's to do with what the manufacturers have tested their vehicles with. You can put, in fact, Mercedes this week issued a statement saying you can put up to 7% in any Mercedes truck. Any of the big earth-moving equipment that's building Expo 2020 can all use 7% in their Mercedes vehicles without having any worry that the manufacturer is going to complain about it. What we found is that we're able to run perfectly well at 20% biodiesel, and indeed all of the McDonald's trucks are at 100% biodiesel.
Who is going to be buying this from ENOC? Can anyone buy it? Is it just going to be special companies that are working in with them?
ENOC sells through two routes. They have the forecourt sales that we're used to, where we fill our cars up. But if you've got a fleet of more than 100 or so vehicles, ENOC will put a dedicated filling station on your premises. So people like the people who operate the ports and the municipalities have dedicated fueling stations, and they provide fuel from ENOC.
But for this biodiesel, for example, I mean, if I happened to have, I know they're not really sold out here, but if I happened to have a diesel SUV, for example, would I be able to go and fill up?
No, this is only going to their commercial customers because it has to be done in bulk.
I'm wondering about the timing of this event. It sounds great for you as a company, but it comes at a time when diesel vehicles and fuels are being frowned on globally. Vows to phase out diesel vehicles before 2030, possibly as soon as 2025. I mean, where does this leave your diesel-focused business?
Well, a lot of those phase-out plans are related to passenger vehicles. There is no substitute at the moment for a hunking grey engine to power a big truck. It has to be diesel. diesel, and certainly for the foreseeable future, which I would say is 30 or 40 years, it's going to be diesel. What you can do with our biodiesel and this biodiesel blend is run an existing diesel engine on a far cleaner, greener, better fuel. You're right about the timing though. Yesterday we went live on our crowdfunding through Eureka, and that was to raise funds from as low as $1,000, which you can even do with your credit card, to buy shares in our company as we grow.
Talk to us about tax, because VAT obviously is the sticking point. We know it's going to be on regular fuel. Will it be on biodiesel?
Well, they haven't made a decision on biodiesel, but we're assuming that there will be VAT on biodiesel, and we're fully prepared for that. All of our staff are already trained on using VAT, and our accounting systems already have VAT built in. But all of our customers are commercial customers who will either be registered for VAT or registered and zero rated like the schools. So they will be able to claim back the VAT on their fuel anyway, so it won't have any net impact on their pricing.
You mentioned the crowdfunding there and the opportunity to buy shares in neutral fuels. How far into the future before you think you might be listed on a regular exchange?
Funnily enough, we had a call from one of the exchanges when we announced we were going to be crowdfunding, saying that we'd already met their minimum threshold for listing. I think that it's a long way off.
In terms of turnover, or
in terms of market cap, so the valuation on the business. I don't want to be the smallest market cap on a stock exchange. That's a bit of a vulnerable position. But I think within a few years, it's something that we would certainly look at. I think it's also possible that one of the other oil majors will realise that this is a massive opportunity. But at the moment, we're very happy being independent and running our business properly.
Outline your commercial arrangement with Enoch, or as much as you can, please.
Well, it's a very, very interesting setup. Obviously, we produce biodiesel, and the arrangement is that Enoch sends their tankers to us empty. We put in the 5% component that is the biofuel, and they then take the tankers back to the big facility at Jebel Ali and fill it up with the other 95%. They then take that to their customers and provide it to them via their underground tanks and their normal dispensing equipment.
Are they? So they are buying this from you?
Absolutely.
And the price that they're buying it from you at, if you like, how does that compare to a price of a litre of diesel?
It's defined in the contract, which has about 3 pages that say I can't talk about it.
So you can't talk about it?
I can't talk about the pricing. I can't talk about the way that Enoch prices to their customers, but my guess is that the net pricing to their customers is going to be very, very similar to the price that they pay for normal diesel.
But it's an important move for you, for the company. It's a nice shouting point for Enoch as well. So congratulations on that, and Neutral Fuels. Carl Fielder, thanks very much. We look forward to having you back.
Thank you very much.
There's just so much more to hear.
Download our podcasts at DubaiEye1038.com.